Thank you for your support and thank you for your trust.
Tonight on Prime News, national victorious. Prime Minister-elect John Key shapes his government for challenging times ahead. Labour defeated at a top-shelf clean-out with both Helen Clark and now Michael Cullen resigning. And acting up, Rodney Hyde celebrates with a cross-harbour swim. It's 5:30. This is Prime News for Sunday, the 9th of November. In sport, the All Blacks beat Scotland, but their form begs dissection. And the Kiwis beat England, despite only finding the go button in the second half.
First at 5:30, this is Prime News.
Kia ora, good evening. New Zealand woke this morning to the reality of a national-led government. The Nats winning a 59-seat majority to Labour's 43. Prime Minister Helen Clark used her concession speech to also announce she would be standing down as Labour Party leader. And then today, her deputy, Michael Cullen, followed suit. Without New Zealand First and its leader Winston Peters, who failed to fire in Tauranga, it will be a very new-look parliament. Today, Prime Minister-elect John Key got to work shaping his new government, but last night he joined his party faithful in painting the town blue.
National Party supporters haven't partied like this since 1996.
How long are you going to party for?
Until tomorrow.
After being optimistically sceptical, too scared to celebrate too soon, euphoria struck near midnight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Prime Minister!
Just 6 years ago, John Key set out to fulfil his childhood dream, and he relished the reality of it.
Thank you for your support and thank you for your trust.
The Prime Minister-elect also acknowledging he wouldn't be standing where he is without the support of his wife Brona and their children.
What did your children say? What did your wife say?
Well, they actually said they were very proud of me, which is very sweet, and they were actually really excited.
Earlier this week, Barack Obama promised his girls a puppy if he made it to the White House, but no such luck for the Key kids.
But I got a bit of bad news, guys. There's no puppy coming. Sorry. Okay, maybe I'll reconsider the puppy. What the hell? The cat won't like it, but we can work our way through it.
Not the only thing Key is working through, with senior MPs knocking on his door early this morning to discuss the shape of his new cabinet. Key has already contacted coalition partners Rodney Hyde and Peter Dunn.
On Monday, I've confirmed that I'll be meeting the leader of the ACT Party and the leader of the United Future Party. It's my intention on Tuesday to hold a caucus in the morning.
Also on Mr Key's agenda for Tuesday, discussing striking a formal deal with the Māori Party. Maurice Hurley, Prime News.
The night belonged to the right. Labour's casualties, including not only Prime Minister Helen Clark and Deputy Prime Minister Michael Cullen, who have both stood down from their roles, but a number of senior politicians and long-serving MPs. Among those to lose their seats, Auckland Central MP Judith Tizard and Cabinet Ministers Damien O'Connor, Harry Deinhoven, David Parker and Steve Chadwick. Meanwhile, Phil Goff is tipped as Miss Clark's successor as the next leader of the Labour Party.
The end of an era. This wasn't the speech Helen Clark wanted to give last night, and it was the last thing her supporters were wanting to hear.
I will be standing down, yes, and I will be expecting Labour colleagues to elect a new leader before Christmas.
For some, it was almost too much to bear. Miss Clark had been hoping for an historic fourth term as Prime Minister, but it wasn't to be.
Always my intention if I couldn't lead the party to victory again this time to go.
And she's not alone, with Michael Cullen today announcing he's stepping down as Labour's deputy. It's going to change the face of New Zealand's oldest political party dramatically, with Phil Goff tipped to be the next Labour Party leader and Marion Street or David Cunliffe his possible deputies. Helen Clark says she'll be right behind Labour's new team.
But I do hope that all that we've worked to put in place doesn't go up in flames on a bonfire created by the right wing of politics.
Prime Minister-elect John Key paying tribute to Miss Clark's leadership.
I want to thank Helen Clark. We share a love of this country And I have always admired her dedication to the job, her ferocious work ethic, and her desire to make New Zealand a better country.
After almost a decade at the country's helm, Helen Clark's promising to concentrate on her Mount Albert electorate, which should also lend itself more time for family. Sarah Batley, Prime News.
Well, political editor Barry Soper now takes a look at the new shape of Parliament.
When Parliament does resume, and it will be this side of Christmas, because John Key has said he wants to pass taxation legislation this year in time for implementation in April next year. The makeup of the House will look something like this, although the United Future seat will be probably down the front of the crossbenches, given that Peter Dunn has been assured of a place on the front benches. The ACT vote, of course, is the one that changed everything. It held up more than 3%, giving it 5 seats in Parliament. There are 122 seats after last night's vote. That could grow slightly. There could be another seat for the Green Party once the special votes are counted, and they can rely on a pretty good count from overseas, and possibly another one for Labour, but it's not going to make a great deal of difference to the makeup of the House.
ACT leader Rodney Hyde romped home in his Epsom electorate last night with a majority of almost 12,000. ACT's 3.7% party vote means he'll bring 4 MPs with him to the next Parliament. And while many New Zealanders were nursing hangovers this morning, Hyde had a very different way of clearing his head.
The morning after the night before, ACT leader Rodney Hyde swimming in success.
It was very, very choppy, but I just put one arm in front of the other and I got good support from my friends here and we got through.
A dip in the sea, practice for next weekend's Ocean Swim Series, and a chance for Hyde to freshen up before he talks Turkey with Prime Minister-elect John Key. Hyde oozed enthusiasm last night at the news he'd be joined in Parliament by 4 other MPs after his landslide victory in the Epsom electorate.
It was something that we were aiming for. I particularly wanted to get David Garrett in because I think he's got a big contribution to make, and so I'm very proud of the result.
Hyde staying mum on what position he's seeking in a national-led government, but the boost in ACT's numbers from 2 to 5 MPs means Sir Roger Douglas makes a comeback, although Mr Key has ruled him out of cabinet.
Whether it's inside the tent or outside, I'll certainly be putting my views forward as forcefully as I can.
Nobody prouder last night than ACT's #1 supporter.
He's really had his back to the wall and he's had a fight on his hands, but he's never gone from what he believes in, and he's stuck to it, and I think that's wonderful.
Only time will tell exactly how National and ACT will work together, but there's certainly a mood for change.
They had a yellow pair of Speedos for me, but I passed them up.
Kate King, Prime News.
New Zealand First and its leader Winston Peters are out of Parliament after last night's results failed to score them an electorate or get them over the 5% threshold. His 30-year political career might look over, but Winston Peters has maintained his fighting spirit, assuring his supporters it's not over.
Not bad, really, when you think about it.
His career has been filled with controversy, but last night the message to New Zealand First leader Winston Peters was clear.
Got that? N-O.
After 30 years in Parliament, Winston Peters conceding defeat in his Tauranga electorate to National's Simon Bridges.
I must say it will be a delight for the first time for the next 3 years to have a bright young guy in this seat in Tauranga, and I want to give him my congratulations and wish him all the very best.
Embroiled in controversy in the past few months over the party donation saga, last night's results were a killer blow, but Mr Peters vowed to fight on.
I want to say that this is not the end.
Mr Peters and his fellow MPs might now be looking for new jobs after only polling 4.2%. But it didn't stop him thanking his party faithful.
And I have nothing but gratitude for the time that we've had together and the work we've done.
Among those sad to see the last of one of Parliament's more colourful characters, Winston's arch rival.
And Winston has enormous talent, enormous ability, huge potential, but he never seemed to quite realise it in our Parliament or in government. But, you know, maybe his leaving speech is him at his finest.
And true to form, we couldn't say goodbye to Winston without letting him have the last word.
Oh, by the way, That's my last word to all of you. In the media, that is, okay?
Paul van der Werf, Prime News.
And as Barry Soper told us earlier, the Greens were the only minor party to cross the 5% threshold with 6.4% of the party vote, earning them 8 seats in the new parliament. Co-leader Jeanette Fitzsimons says while her party didn't manage double figures as had been expected, she was happy to welcome 2 more MPs into the fold.
Well, it's great to have 2 extra MPs, and it's great to have people of the calibre of Kevin Haigh and Catherine Delahunty. They'll make a big difference to our caucus. They'll make a big difference to Parliament.
Meanwhile, it was a party atmosphere in the South Auckland suburb of Otahuhu last night as Māori Party co-leader Peter Sharples welcomed 1 more MP. The party added 1 seat to the 4 it held in the last Parliament, with Rahuri Kātene narrowly defeating Labour in Titaitonga. It's been 12 years since we voted to adopt the MMP system of voting, a system which gave people 2 votes and promised to share the power between parties in Parliament. Prime Minister Helen Clark was always described as the master of MMP, but last night John Key and New Zealand voters proved the system wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen, today New Zealand has spoken. In their hundreds of thousands across the country, they have voted for change.
Securing the greatest majority of any party under the MMP system, National last night proved it needed only the ACT party to govern. But a politician of the MMP generation, Key is extending the hand of cooperation regardless, promising ministerial positions to Rodney Hyde and Peter Dunn in talks with Māori Party leaders.
I don't know whether that's possible, and I don't know what that would be like. But if we're to be a long-term government, we're going to need to build other relationships.
For the first time since MMP was introduced in 1996, a clear result from day one.
You didn't wait for 2 or 3 weeks. We don't have protracted negotiations like in 1996 between Winston Peters and Labour and National. It's really interesting to see that he settled all that tonight, and I think in a way it's very clever.
I think he's very lucky too, because both in 05, 02, 1999, 96, no single party leader could announce on election night what the shape of the government was going to be.
The party which almost beat the system last night, now looking to change it, with National promising a referendum on MMP in 2011. Bridget Ransom, Prime News.
Now that he's about to be sworn into the country's top political job, John Key's life is going to change significantly. Political editor Barry Soper has spoken with John Key today. So, Barry, what is the first big event on John Key's agenda?
Well, the first big event for John Key is to select his cabinet. Unlike Labour, that leaves that job to its caucus, John Key actually makes the appointments himself. So he'll be on the phone to his various colleagues, asking them whether they would like to serve in whatever portfolio. The other thing that John Key wants to do is to go to APEC in Peru. And now that's the week after next, so he hasn't got long to pack his bags for that one. He obviously wants to strut the international stage as soon as he can. Barack Obama, he'll be there even though he won't have been sworn in as president. And John Key may not have been sworn in as Prime Minister at that stage, but he's pretty determined to go by the sounds of things.
Do you think he's up to this fairly gruelling job?
Well, it's living life in a goldfish bowl, and I guess he's got used to that in the less than 2 years he's been leader of the opposition, but he'll now have to move to Wellington to Premier House, so he's going from a state mansion, from a state house when he was brought up to a state mansion in Wellington. His wife Brona and his children are not going to go down, they're going to stay here in Auckland, but it's a tough job and he's going to really have to tough it up.
All right, thank you very much. Political editor Barry Soper. In sport, 1 down, 3 to go as the All Blacks chase the Grand Slam. And Manu Vatuvei shows 1, 2, 3, 4 ways for the Kiwis to beat England at Rugby League's World Cup.
Ball to Vatuvei.
Australia's coastline is immense. Their job seems impossible.
Okay, got a rescue.
Saving lives.
I heard a scream.
From Sydney Harbour to surfers' paradise. With more waves.
The waves are huge.
More rips.
That's a flash rip.
And more sun.
feel like they're already in a lot of trouble.
They're all there for one cause, to help people.
Surf Patrol, tonight, 7 o'clock, Prime.
Want comedy in the comfort of your own home? All the action?
You ready?
Without moving a muscle?
What do you think?
And drama direct to your door.
Yes.
Go to fatso.co.nz to hire from over 18,000 movies and TV series.
Let's get started.
High five.
With free postage both ways.
I'm happy.
And best of all, no late fees.
What?
Ever.
Nice.
Log on now for a free 2-week trial.
Done.
Fatso.co.nz. DVDs direct to your door.
Thank you.
Carpet odours? Here's a product that kills the bacteria that cause bad odours in your carpet. Novak Pure and Fresh. It permanently removes cooking smells, pet odours, smoke and little household accidents. Just spray Novak Pure and Fresh to release a quick drying mist that disappears into your carpet and eliminates trapped odours. It's safe to use on all carpets and fabrics, and there's a range of pleasant smelling fragrances. So use Novak weekly for an odour-free carpet. Brand Power, helping you buy better.
Take the guesswork out of Christmas gift giving. Harvey Norman has it all. For her, Vidal Sassoon hair straightener, $27. Or a JVC movie camera with bonus SD card. Great for holidays, $548. Much more in store. The season of giving at Harvey Norman.
Healthy home solutions from Home Tech. Turn your dark rooms into bright, fresh living spaces with a solar tube. And call now to receive your install at half price. Accredited installation nationwide. 0800 Home Tech.
Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas.
Cleaning your gutters doesn't need to be difficult or dangerous. Save yourself the pain and get your gutters clean in no time with a Gutter Witch and Gutter Wand. The Gutter Witch is easy to install and you can even do it yourself. Use your Gutter Witch with your Gutter Wand and getting rid of the debris from your gutters becomes quick and easy, so you can get back to your weekend. Gutter Witch products now available from your local Mitre 10, Hammer and Placemakers.
Gutterwitch.co.nz. Clean your gutters easily. Gutter Witch.
Because Lucy saved so much on her flight to Wellington, she decided to stay for a few more days. Unfortunately, she forgot to tell Jason. Pay a visit, not a fortune, with Pacific Blue.
We like to offer our customers the very latest technology. So now you can bank with us from your iPhone. Go to nationalbank.ibank.co.nz for details. It's all part of the service.
The 3 Bali bombers have been executed by firing squad more than 6 years after 202 people, including 3 New Zealanders, were killed in the attacks. Travel warnings remain in place for Indonesia amid fears of terrorist reprisals.
The shots that ended the lives of the mass murderers Amrozi, the smiling assassin, his brother Mukhlas, also known as Ali Gufron, and the spiritual leader and mastermind of the mechanics of the bombings, Imam Samudra, echoed across Nusa Kambangang Island just after midnight local time. Witnesses to the execution say the trio shouted, "Allahu Akbar, God is great," as prison guards led them to the execution site in an orchard 6 kilometres from the jail. Authorities now fear those shots will now echo across Indonesia, with reports of thousands of supporters gathering in mourning and threatening reprisal attacks, rallied by radical Muslim leader Abu Bakr Bashir. Bashir describes the 3 men as holy warriors. Terry Galloway, Prime News.
Now here's Ross with sport, and the All Blacks maintain their winning record against Scotland.
Yeah, superb defence and slick attack got their Grand Slam off to a winning start. But while the 32-6 scoreline against Scotland mightn't show it, Graham Henry's men weren't totally dominant at Murrayfield. There was a dark reception as the All Blacks ran out onto Murrayfield for their reunion with World Cup nemesis Wayne Barnes. And it wasn't long before Barnes let Scotland's Nick DeLuca know no one would get away with infringing at the breakdown. Stephen Donald had his kicking boots on and he made the home side pay immediately.
Donald is going to stab it across to the far wing. Opportunity for Tui Tamaki. Oh, beautiful.
But Scotland tight head Ewan Murray was schooling All Blacks debutant Jamie McIntosh. as his side capitalised on its domination of territory and possession. Lock Anthony Borich stole one of the All Blacks' 9 turnovers to allow the back space to create the second try.
Kahui in a bit of space, stabs it away downfield. Now the speedsters are coming. Led by Tuatavaki, ball loose and snapped up, and Wepu gets it down, Piri Wepu.
But Borich was soon the villain, yellowed for coming in the side of the ruck. Isaiah Toiava hurt his shoulder in a tackle and left the field before half-time, although it's thought he should be fine. It gave Corey Jane more time on the field, and his bomb gave man of the match Richard Kahui a favourable bounce.
The Scots not looking good. Kahui's got the pace. He's straight down the centre. Richard Kahui, yep.
Jane couldn't score himself though, making a mess of Liam Messam's break.
Got it away and it's been knocked on.
At the other end, Scottish attacks continued to be thwarted by big defence. Andy Ellis's stint at halfback was short as he once again fell victim to injured ribs, giving Dan Carter some time at 9. But the All Blacks took their rare chances.
Drops it onto his boot. Then as he gets one around the lug hole, and here goes Anthony Borich.
A mixed game, but the unbeaten record against the Scots remains intact. The All Blacks in Scotland weren't the only international teams playing this weekend. Australia had its work cut out for it against Italy. With the game all tied up and time running out, Quade Cooper won it for them.
A dummy run. Tremendous running there by Australia. This could be a dramatic score. They've got the try.
It was Cooper's first touch of the ball in the Wallabies jersey. The young Queenslander was one of the surprise selections in Robbie Dean's touring squad. Twickenham was far from full for England's match against the Pacific Islanders. Playing in red, England won 39-13, scoring 5 tries to 1. The first went to Paul Sackey, backing up new fullback Dallin Armitage. And it wasn't pretty, but France avenged its World Cup loss to Argentina with a 12-6 win in Marseille. There were no tries, just 5 penalties, and this drop goal from David Skrella. The Kiwis have kept their Rugby League World Cup campaign on track by blitzing England in the second half of their pool match, but they'll have to do it all again next week.
Things couldn't have started worse for the Kiwis. First, the English ignored the haka.
They didn't want to have a bar of it, did they?
Then, within half an hour, they'd gone 16 points up with 4 rampaging tries.
Still going. Look at the old stager. Oh, there's no backup galore. Shut the gate. Put the glasses down. Call it how you like, because Burrow's in.
The Kiwis were clinging on.
Bumping run.
But then, perversely, what proved to be the turning point of the match.
Matai's gone.
Medical staff say Steve Matai suffered no long-term damage. He'll have an MRI scan tomorrow. The stoppage galvanised the Kiwis.
That was so close. He kept it going. Luke, over the top she goes. Nightingale, good night.
Then it was all Kiwi. The Hohaya Vatuve show to the fore.
Firing his back line, Hohaya. There's the money ball. And the beast in Vatuve.
Let's see them try that again.
Hohaya, floating ball. Vatuve for a hat-trick. He's got there.
Missed that. Here's another version.
Hohaya and another money ball to Vatuve, who says, I'll get 4 tries.
Final score, Kiwis 36, England 24. Adam Hollingworth, Prime News.
Arsenal's English Premier League campaign is looking good again thanks to a confidence-boosting win over Manchester United. The Gunners continued their good home record against the Red Devils, winning 2-1. A double from Frenchman Samir Nasri sealed what Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger hopes will be a season-changing result.
What a fantastic goal for Arsenal. Poise, patience, and then penetration.
United did manage a stunning reply through Raphael, but it came too late in the match, and Arsenal held on to grab all 3 points. So Arsenal jumps above Man U into 3rd on the table, while Liverpool's now clear at the top. Hull City's golden run looks to be over after its 3rd loss in a row. Drama in today's quarter-finals of the Under-17 Women's World Cup. Favourites Japan have been knocked out, beaten by England in a penalty shootout. It was 2-2 after 90 minutes, with each side scoring spectacular goals. Japan led twice and England battled back the second time as 90 minutes ticked over.
So, unless England can do something very dramatic now, so will Japan be celebrating here. There's a long-range effort.
No goals in extra time, so they went to a penalty shootout where there was only one error.
Japan to lead again. No, they don't. The save is made. The favourites are out.
That's it for sport.
Agony and ecstasy.
Yeah,
Thanks, Ross. Just ahead on Prime News, your weather.
Are you ready? Newsflash. Captain Slow accelerates into a corner. Sorry. Will Idle Simon lose to Fleet JK?
Because you want to be here, don't you?
Yes! And Hammond wins because...
Well, this is the last show.
Yes! Did you notice I was first?
Brought to you by BP Ultimate.
It's a bit odd not having a steering wheel.
Arms come off! Now that's newsworthy. Top Gear. Tonight. Prime.
Insure your car, home, contents or business with State and you could win 100,000 Flybuys points to redeem for rewards like this. In fact, 100,000 points could get you all this. So call 0800 4STATE now.
Don't spend a fortune on streaky fake tans. Now there's a better way. With one big blue puff, your legs will look tanned and toned all summer long. It's the quickest, easiest tan you'll ever have. I guarantee it.
This luxurious puff is filled with natural glow body bronzing shimmer powder to give your skin a gorgeous sun-kissed look in seconds. Order yours now. Call 0800 228 229. Be one of the first 50 callers and you'll also receive a fabulous pouch absolutely free.
I knew that Aubrey had bipolar disorder, but, you know, it was no big deal to me.
She just treated me like everybody else, and that's what you want a boss to do or an employer to do. Having someone that walks alongside you and just says, yep, you can do it, and I expect you to do it, really makes a big difference.
He can teach us all about awareness and acceptance and of not being afraid.
Susan provided me with an opportunity and I took it with two hands, and I'm always going to be grateful for that.
The greatest gift Aubrey gave all of us was the ability to be able to talk about it.
For people with mental illness, the biggest barrier to recovery is discrimination. What you do makes the difference.
If you can dream it, we'll get you the best deal from the best lenders. Finance for whatever you want. With up to 30k unsecured, we'll arrange a loan to fit your lifestyle. Get online and make room for it. thelendingroom.co.nz. Live the way you want.
With 25% off absolutely everything, there's something for absolutely everyone. In the massive Lighting Plus 25% off absolutely everything sale on now.
More than just great prices, Lighting Plus.
Absolutely.
Add value and protect your home by repainting the exterior. Corfi Painters will prepare and repaint using trustworthy tradesmen and quality paints. And add years of life to the roof you've got. Get a Corfi Protector Coat Roof Restoration. A name you can trust. 0800 Corfi.
If you or your child are interested in music, Shearer's Music Works have a great selection of guitars, keyboards, drums and much more. Discover the wonderful world of music with Shearer's Music Works, supporting musicians of the future.
Prime weather brought to you by State. Help just happens.
Well, to the weather, an early frost, then showers throughout, snow to low levels in the south. Thick cloud over the South Island causes heavy rain in the west, and that spreads north, mostly clear over the upper North Island. Starting up top, Whangarei and Auckland, drizzle. Hamilton, cloudy. Tauranga, drizzle. Now, everyone through here is in for a cloudy start to the week. And there's rain right through the upper South Island, lower north. Dunedin will have clearing showers, but Queenstown and Invercargill are mostly sunny. Looking ahead then, Auckland cloudy through until midweek, then rain develops. Wellington cloud on Tuesday, which gives way to sunny spells Wednesday, Thursday. Christchurch a similar pattern, sunny Tuesday and Wednesday, but showers arrive Thursday. And Dunedin clearing showers on Tuesday, sunny midweek, but the wet returns on Thursday. Recapping tonight's top stories on Prime News, Prime Minister-elect John Key gets to work shaping a new national-led government. A new era and look for the Labour Party, with both Prime Minister Helen Clark and her deputy Michael Cullen standing down from their roles. And the 3 Bali bombers have been executed by firing squad more than 6 years after the attacks, which claimed 202 lives. And that is Prime News for this Sunday, the 9th of November. I'm Susie Clarkson. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.